Few minutes later, totally oblivious of the explosion he was walking into. As soon as he went through the door, he saw the quiet people met Rasheeda's and she didn't blink. She only stared, her jaw clenched so tight it looked painful. Higavia hesitant. Smile tried to joke, but no one laughed. He sat down next to her, but she shifted in her seat, putting a few additional inches between them. After food was served, the talks picked up gently, while everyone avoided the elephant in the room. Small chuckles, false smiles, but beneath it all, people were waiting for one of them to shatter. And it didn't take long. Someone made a casual question regarding the recent season trailer, and that's when it happened. Bambi glanced directly at Rasheeda and commented, "Well, I hope this season they finally revealed the truth, not just the filtered version. It was subtle, yet everyone knew exactly what she meant." Rasheeda laid her glass down, slowly wiped her lips with a handkerchief, and then moved forward. "You know, if you're going to talk slick, at least be brave enough to say, 'Names?'" She whispered, her voice steady but icy cold. Bambi didn't flinch. "I don't need to mention names. If the shoe fits." "Oh, it fits all right," Rasheeda snapped, cutting her off. "But don't pretend like you some innocent messenger. You didn't reveal anything. You stirred a pot that didn't belong to you." Bambi leaned back, arms crossed. "Nah, see, the problem is people love to defend trash behavior till it stinks up the whole room. I finally quit pretending not to smell it." Gasps flooded the room. People shifted uncomfortably in their seats, wondering whether to help or let the storm run its course. Kirk looked like he wanted to disappear. He opened his mouth, but Rosa shut him off without even looking his way. "Don't. Just don't." Share-marked eyes still set on Bambi. "You act like you're doing me a favor by being untidy in public," Rosa continued. "But all you did was drag me through the mud for clout." Bambi's voice soared. "Girl, please, he didn't leap those signals, but I'm not going to sit quiet as you prance around like perks. Some misunderstood saint. Everybody's bored of the act." The table exploded in voices. Some tried to calm them down. Others just stared in utter silence. Someone smashed over a glass, and it smashed on the floor. But neither woman reacted. They were too deep in it now. "You don't know what I struggle with behind closed doors," Riba screamed. "Standing up now. You get glimpses and think you got the complete image, and you don't get to play victim when you're the one deciding to stay." Bambi fired back. "Don't come for me just because I said what everybody else was too terrified to say." For a while, it appeared like they were about to leap at each other. Security, who had been stationed silently by the exit, started inching closer. Producers muttered among themselves, some ready to step in, others just watching the drama unfold like it was golden content. But before anything physical happened, Kirk finally stepped forward and raised his voice. "Enough, both of you," he cried. "This ain't the place or the time." Rena turned to him slowly, eyes seething. "No, Kirk, you don't get to say when it's enough. You're the reason we're all here." He opened his mouth to answer, but then looked around at the room full of people staring at him, condemning him, criticizing him, and in that moment he realized just how horribly things had sunk. "Look, I'm sorry," he said quietly, almost to himself. "I never meant for things to get this far." Bambi rolled her eyes. "You never mean it, Kurt. That's the problem. You always accidentally injure people." Rasheeda shook her head. "We're done here." She mumbled and walked out of the dinner party, not waiting for anyone. Bambi watched her depart, her look hard. To read half rage, part remorse, and part something else? Maybe she hadn't meant for it to go this far either. Maybe she just wanted to be heard. But now things were broken in a way that couldn't be healed with mere words. After Rosita departed the room, slowly began to clean out. The energy was depleted, the tension still heavy in the air. Kirk stayed behind, sitting in silence while Bambi stood outside by her car, scrolling by comments from fans who had seen pirated video of the dinner argument already, circulating like wildfire. What Noon knew was that someone had secretly filmed the entire interaction at the dinner. A staff member had left their phone running, and within hours, the footage started spreading on private gossip pages. The internet erupted again. Fans were surprised at the rawness of the confrontation. They hailed Russia's. They called Bambi out for her bluntness and pulled Kirk through the mud for staying mute for so long. But behind the headlines, behind the drama, true emotions were seething. Rasheeda was athome, crying in silence, questioning everything she had built. Bambi was pacing in her room, wondering if she had gone too far. And Kirk was sitting alone in a parking lot, staring at his reflection in the car window, seeing someone he barely recognized. But the narrative wasn't ended. There was still more to come. An unexpected twist that will shatter everything once again. The following morning brought no serenity. Social media had burst overnight with snippets from the dinner party. The video leaked by a staff member had been shared numerous times throughout gossip pages, fan accounts, and even mainstream press. The footage was blurry, but the audio was clear enough. Rasheeda and Bambi's voices repeated in every comment section, examined by strangers who had suddenly become experts in their fight. Hashtags like #Team, Rosa and Bambi exposed were trending within hours. The controversy had officially gone viral, and neither of them could hide from it. Now Rasheeda hadn't slept. She sat curled up on her couch, her phone buzzing nonstop. Friends, fans, producers. They all wanted answers. Her inbox was a war zone. Half the messages were words of encouragement, complimenting her for standing up for herself. The other half questioned why she had been silent about Kirk for so long. She was outraged, but far more than that, she was hurt. Her marriage had already been on weak ground, but now the world had seen it shatter in real time. She scrolled through one comment that stated, "Rosa deserves better, Kirk's a clown, and Bambi's messy for no reason." Another one replied, "Maybe it's finally time for her to walk away." She hurled the phone across the couch and buried her face in her hands. How did it get this far? Meanwhile, Bambi was also catching hot. Though many followers backed her for expressing the truth, others criticized her of being petty, envious, or just thirsty for attention. She sat in the bathroom, peering into the mirror, trying to figure out if she had crossed the line. Themament kept reliving in her thoughts Riva's expression, the tension in the room, Kirk's startled silence. She hadn't planned on it going down like way, but now that it had, she couldn't take it back. Scrappy, her husband, tapped lightly on the door. "You good?" he inquired. She sighed. "Depends on your idea of good." He walked in and leaned against the wall. "You blew up the internet again." "Wasn't trying to," she mumbled. Scrappy arched an eyebrow. "Weren't you, though?" She threw him a glare. "What, you think I'm wrong?" He stopped. "Nah, I think you told the truth." "Simply don't know if it was your truth to tell." Bambi looked away. That hit harder than she expected. Maybe he was right. Maybe she should have let Rasheeda handle her own situation. But something in her head snapped. She was tired of pretending. Tired of seeing people suffer in silence while everyone else clapped and smiled for the cameras across town. Kirk was trying to do damage control. He'd already been called into a surprise meeting with the show's producers. They were concerned about the fallout. Ratings might go up, sure, but public opinion was turning fast. They didn't want another scandal that spiraled out of control. They told Kirk to fix it publicly and quickly. So Kirk did what Kirk always did. He filmed an apology video sitting in his car, looking tired and regretful. He addressed his followers directly. "I want to apologize to Rasheeda and everyone who got dragged into the disrespected my marriage, and that's on me. Nobody else. I let people down, and I hate that my actions hurt the people I care about. I'm taking time to reflect and do better." But the comments weren't buying it. People flooded the video with eye-roll emojis and angry reactions. Some said it was too little too late. Others demanded to see the text themselves. The pressure was growing, and Kirk's team was scrambling behind the scenes. Just when things seemed like they couldn't get any worse, a new leak hit. The internet screenshots of even more messages. This time, it wasn't just foration. There were photos. Voice notes. A full-blown digital trail of Kirk's conversations with a woman who wasn't his wife. And to make things worse, the mystery woman came forward. She posted a video to her private story, which of course someone recorded and shared everywhere. In the clip, she said, "I didn't know he was still with his wife. He told me they were separated. We talked for months. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not going to be the one hiding while he plays the victim." The internet lost its mind. The narrative shifted again. Fans who had been focused on Rasheeda and Bambi now turned their anger toward Kirk. The betrayal was deeper than anyone expected. Even those who had defended him before were done now. The story had gone from messy to devastating. Rasheeda watched it all unfold in real time. Each new piece of evidence felt like a knife twisting in her chest. Her phone rang constantly, calls from friends, family, even. Her mother all worried about her well-being, but she didn't want to talk. Not yet. Not until she figured out what to do next. Finally, after 2 days of silence, she decided to respond, but not with a video. She posted a long, emotional message on her Instagram story. "I never thought I'd have to explain my pain to strangers," it began. But here we are. Yes, the texts were real. Yes, I've been hurt. And no, I don't have all the answers right now. But I'm taking space for myself, for my kids, and for my peace. I asked that y'all give me that space too. The message went viral instantly. Celebrities reposted it. Blobs quoted it. Fans flooded her DMs with love and support. For the first time in days, the energy shifted slightly. People weren't just watching the drama anymore. They were rallying behind her. Bambi saw the post too. She stared at the screen for a long time, her chest tight with emotion. She wanted to reach out. She wanted to say she was sorry. Not for speaking her truth, but for the way it all unfolded. But she didn't know if it would matter anymore. Some bridges once burned couldn't be rebuilt. Still, she drafted a message, then deleted it, then drafted it again. "I never meant to hurt you. I just wanted you to see what the rest of us saw. But I realize now that maybe I should come to you in private. I'm sorry. She didn't send it." Scrappy watched her from the doorway. "You going to send that?" Bambi shrugged. "What's the point?" "The point is you still care even after all this." Bambi sat with that for a moment. Maybe caring was the problem. Maybe they all cared too much about things that were already broken. But just as she was about to close her phone, she got a message from someone unexpected. "Rosa, just 3 words, can we talk?" Bambi stared at the screen, in disbelief. The message felt surreal. After everything that had happened, the shouting, the betrayal, the internet chaos, Rasheeda was the last person she expected to hear from. Yet there it was, simple and to the point. "Can we talk? No drama? No accusations, just a quiet invitation." Bambi didn't respond right away. Her heart was racing, palms slightly sweaty. Was this a setup? Was she ready for whatever this conversation might bring? After pacing the living room for nearly 20 minutes, she finally replied, "Yeah, whenever you're ready." Within moments, Rosa sent an address, her boutique. It was after hours, no customers, just the 2 of them. Bambi grabbed her keys and headed out, unsure of what she'd say, but known she couldn't ignore this. The boutique was dimly lit when Bambi arrived. Rosa stood by a clothing rack, arms crossed, expression unreadable. Bambi walked in slowly, cautiously, like she was entering the lion's den. The air between them was thick with unspoken emotions, and Thessalon's stretched for what felt like forever, before Rasheeda finally broke it. "Thanks for coming," she said quietly. Bambi nodded. "Thanks for asking me to." Another beat of silence. "I'm not going to lie." Rita began, her voice steady but strained. "I was pissed." "Still kind of am," Bambi sighed. "I get it. You aired out something personal. Something I wasn't even done processing myself, and you did it in front of cameras, in front of everyone." Bambi swallowed hard. I didn't mean for it to go that far. I couldn't keep pretending everything was okay when it wasn't. I thought you deserved to know. Rita shook her head. You don't think I knew? I knew something. Was up I've known for a while, I just wasn't ready to face it, and then you forced it out in the messiest way possible. Bambi looked down. I thought I was helping. You weren't, Rosa said bluntly. Not then. The word stung, but Bambi didn't argue. Shalette. Them sit? Then Rosita's tone softened. But maybe you're helping now. Bambi looked up surprised. What do you mean if you hadn't done what you did? I might have kept, pretending I might have let Perk Sweet talk his way out of it again. But now it's all out there, I don't have a choice but to deal with it. And maybe that's a good thing. Bambi took a step closer. So we're good. Rasheeda let out a bitter laugh. Good girl. We're not good, but we're talking, and that's something. Bambi nodded slowly. It wasn't forgiveness, but it was a start. Just then, both their phones buzzed at the same time. Instinctively, they checked them, and what they saw stopped them in their tracks. A new video had dropped Kirk live on Instagram, and he wasn't alone. The screen showed Kirk sitting in a hotel room, looking disheveled, eyes red. Beside him sat the mystery woman, the one from the screenshots. They looked tense, uncomfortable. Kirk started talking, his voice shaky. I'm doing this because I'm tired of hiding, tired of pretending. Yes, I'm messed up. Yes, everything y'all saw is real. I hurt my wife. I hurt my family. But I also want to clear the air. He gestured toward the woman. This is Tanya. She's not some side chick trying to blow up my life. She was lied to, just like Rosita was. This whole situation got out of hand. Tanya nodded. I didn't know he was still married. I wouldn't have gone there if I knew I'm not proud of this. But I'm not going to be painted like some home record. The comments exploded in real time. Fans were shocked, furious, heartbroken. Many accused Kirk of trying to play the victim again, dragging another woman into his mess to shift the blame. Others defended Tanya, saying she was brave for speaking up. Within minutes, the video was reposted across every gossip page imaginable. Rasheeda stared at her phone, jaw clenched. This man really has the audacity. Bambi stood frozen. He's doing damage control. Tried to spin the narrative before it buries him completely. Rasheeda's voice cracked. He's not sorry. He's just sorry he got caught. She turned away, tears welling up in her eyes. Bambi reached out gently, placing a hand on her shoulder. You don't have to watch this. You don't owe him anything. Rita wiped her face quickly. I know, but I need to see it. I need to see how far he's willing to go. As the video continued, Kirk apologized directly to Rosita. If you're watching this, I know. I failed you again. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I want to be honest now. No more lies. It felt hollow, rehearsed. Like the last-ditch effort to salvage whatever public image he had left. After the video ended, Rosa let out a long breath. That's it. I'm done. Bambi looked at her. Done as in, I'm filing for divorce. The words hung in the air like a bomb. Bambi's eyes widened. Are you sure? Rashan nodded slowly. I've been convinced I simply needed the world to catch up. For the first time in days, there was a strange peace in her voice, like the weight had finally been lifted, like she was restoring something she had lost. I gave him so many chances, she continued. I stood by him through every scandal, every betrayal, and he never changed. He never respected what we had. I can't keep sacrificing myself just to protect him. Bambi offered a little smile. I'm proud of you. Rasheeda gazed at her, eyes softened. Thanks, and I'm sorry too for how I came at you. Bambi shook her head. You had every right. I was messy. I should have handled it better. They sat down together on the boutique's couch. The tension between them gradually began to lessen. They spoke for a long, really talked about life, about love, about how the cameras only ever catch part of the story, and for the first time in a long time, they saw each other not as rivals, not as reality stars, but as ladies attempting to survive in a world that demanded they be perfect while pulling them down at every turn. Across town, Kirk watched the numbers climb on his live stream, but the comments weren't in his favor. They called him unhappy, criticized him, canceled him, and as he sat there in that hotel room alone now, he realized something scary. This time, he really had lost everything. Back at the boutique, Rosa turned to Bambi. "You want to help me package up some of Kirk's stuff tomorrow?" Bambi grinned. "Girl, I'll bring the wine." They both laughed, a real genuine chuckle, and in that instant, the storm finally began to pass. And just like that, a friendship, once torn apart by betrayal, recovered its road back to mending. While a marriage founded on second chances finally disintegrated under the weight of too many falsehoods, fans are still reeling from everything that occurred down from the leaked text to the dramatic confrontation between Rasheeda and Bambi and, now Kirk's unexpected live revelation that just made matters worse. Emotions ran high. The internet was left divided, and the drama continues to develop in real time. Some individuals are thanking Rasheeda for finally breaking away and regaining her worth, while others can't believe how deep Kirk's dishonesty actually went. And Bambi, she came out of this with some hard-earned clarity, proving that even in chaos, sisterhood can survive. But the big question is, what happens now? Will Rosita go through with the divorce, or will Kirk find a way to manipulate the situation? Once again, will Tanya disappear from the spotlight? Or will she walk into the limelight and explain her complete side of the story? And what about the rest of the cast? How are they dealing to this behind the scenes? The silence from some of their closest friends has fans speculating even more. And sources claim the next season of Love and Hip Hop might simply be the most combustible one yet. Now we want to hear from you. Whose side are you on? Do you think Kirk's apology was real or just another ruse to preserve face? Should Rasheeda give him one last opportunity, or is this ultimately the end? Drop your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. The drama is far from ended, and believe us, you won't want to miss what's coming.